Cześć, witam Cię bardzo serdecznie w kolejnym odcinku ze Starfielda. Zostaw kciuka, subskrypcję, dzwoneczek i kontynuujemy sobie questa Tacy Przyjaciele. Musimy pogadać teraz sobie z zastępczynią Elizabeth Macietti.
Captain, you're back sooner than... wait, did you actually succeed? With Radcliffe? And Balmore? We're all in agreement. Dealing with the interests and egos of people who don't necessarily like you is rarely easy. But I suppose that didn't stop you, did it? And now, I've already arranged everything with the archival monitors. When you get down there, the UC monitor will give you instructions on how to deploy the codes. Follow them to the letter. Here, the UC code piece and an archival access card. The entrance is just on the other side of the plaza across from Mast. Absolute best behavior down there, all right?
No dobra, no to lecimy do archiwum. O, wyłączę sobie może tą lampkę, no, właściwie latarkę już. Trzeba by też podejść do sklepów, posprzedawać te rzeczy co mamy, ale mi się nie chce teraz, kurde. Nie chciało mi się między dotykami. Ale trzeba to zrobić, bo będzie lipa. Zaraz z dźwiganiem. A no tak. No tak. Gdzie ty jesteś, Sara? Chodź no tu.
Let me guess. Have something for...
Chociaż w sumie wydaje mi się, że że możemy do loży podejść tylko.
I love.
Bo w sumie w loży jak zostawimy rzeczy, te, które nam przeszkadzają, chyba że nie mam w ogóle tego. Nie, no są jakieś zasoby, dobra, te zasoby zawsze najwięcej ważą, więc jak to oddam do loży, to nie będę miał już nadmiaru giganka i potem między odcinkami sobie najwyżej to ogarnę. Zamiast teraz się z tym męczyć, to tylko skoczmy do loży, szybko to oddać. To będzie najprostszy sposób, żeby to zrobić.
Every time I return here, I'm reminded of the importance of Constellation's contributions to exploration.
What did you want to talk about?
Sona o niczym nie chce z tobą gadać. Okej. No, od razu, nie? 60 do dźwigu. O, i teraz mogę się tepnąć w sumie. Nie muszę biec z powrotem. 200 IQ. Tylko, że będę na dole. Ja mam jakiś punkcik umiejętności do wydania. Mam jeden punkcik umiejętności do wydania. Tutaj jeszcze nie można. Negocjację jedną dopiero zrobiłem. Okej. W sumie na razie nie mam co tu wydawać, tak szczerze mówiąc. Będziemy się zastanawiać, jak zgromadzimy ze 3 punkty, chociaż zobaczymy co tam będzie można jeszcze tutaj pododawać. W ogóle tutaj chyba nie byłem nigdy z tej strony w archiwum. Dobra, pojedźmy sobie na dół. Okej. Oj, przepraszam. Okej. Deponuj wszystkie kody. No dobra. Rozejrzyjmy się jeszcze, czy tu jakiś komik gdzieś nie leży, bo myślę, że powinien jakiś tu być gdzieś. A i tu nie wejdę, dobra. No razie mu jeszcze poczekać. Komiksu tu też nie widzę. Okej. Dziękuję za pomoc. Zwróć dane, okej. Tam nie musimy nic zamykać, dobra. Wróćmy do lobby. Wróćmy. Dobra, jak daleko to jest? Nie do natu. To się tepnę. Będzie szybciej. Sobie windą od razu z dołu będę mógł pojechać. Nad głową, ciach. I do sali rządowej. Ta znowu baranka wywaliła w ścianę.
There you are.
Captain, Deputy told me what went down. Impressive work.
Captain, if you'd be willing to transfer the documents to the Major, she and I have been discussing what comes next. We've got all the clearances we need. You can hand the data over to the Major. Plan is for Hadrian to take the data from here. Stayed out of trouble down there, I hope.
Time for us to start getting some real answers and figure out if we've been asking the right questions. So whenever you're ready. You're carrying the most comprehensive collection of information on terramorphs in the known universe. If we can't pry an answer out of there, it likely doesn't exist. Certainly doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but we're not going to know until Percival and I dig in, so whenever you're ready. Yes. It will be. Percival and I have done our damage. This is us starting to put some things right. So with the data out of the way, we've been discussing where exactly this work's getting done. The Red Devil's headquarters on Mars, back where you found Percival, seemed the natural spot. Already has the equipment, the safety measures. Though it sounded like the deputy had a few more things she needed to discuss with you first.
Indeed. The most important of which is getting you your citizenship.
Then I guess we'll see you on Mars.
Captain, if you'll follow me. It won't take long.
A gdzie ty mnie, ty piaro, chcesz tu porwać, zabrać? Ja pierdzielę, ta gra mi się tak podoba, nie? I naprawdę chętnie bym sobie ograł Skyrima jeszcze przed rozpoczęciem grania w kolejnego The Elder Scrollsa. Ale nie mam czasu, żeby sobie postreamować. Ja bym sobie postreamował właśnie tą gierkę. Wziąć i poogarniać sobie parę rzeczy. Jeszcze. Żeby zoptymalizować sobie jeszcze bardziej moje źródło dochodu. Żebym mógł sobie w końcu usiąść na spokojnie. Zająć się streamami. Kurde ty, jaki widok, ja pierdolę. Tam jest mój statek. Kurwa ma, o dobra. Bardziej mogę. Ja dupie. Nie no, niezły widok tu masz.
All right, Captain. Are you ready to become a citizen of the United Colonies? Well, only citizens can own property in New Atlantis. We also pay a discounted rate at any United Colonies merchant. And all citizens receive an ample credit disbursement upon joining. Good. This isn't the only item we need to discuss, so I'll give you the short version. Please raise your hand. Captain, through your actions today and in days past, you have earned your place among the United Colonies. Through service, bravery, strength, and upholding of the mutual good. Will you carry and cultivate these values for as long as you remain a citizen? Then, Captain, I'm pleased to welcome you into the United Colonies as a full citizen. Here, your official ID and your citizenship dispensation. We've also let the Aphelion Realty office out in the plaza know you're approved to purchase property. Now, the other item we needed to discuss. There's a member of the UC who's asked to speak to you, but this person is in a sensitive position. Normally, we wouldn't even consider something like this, but we think this person has information that could prove useful in dealing with the Terramorphs. And they've stated they'll only share it with you. They asked for you by name. So I need your agreement that everything you're about to see is kept in the strictest confidence. You can tell no one. Can you agree to these terms? I'm sorry. I can't share any more without your word. Do I have it? Let's hope it never comes to that. Head to the elevator. You're going to subsection 7. I'll make sure you're cleared for access by the time you get there.
Okej. To jest nadal quest z frakcji. Tak, dobra. Lepsze znane zło. No dobrze. No dobrze, dobra, to teraz do windy i na 7 powiedziała piętro chyba? Coś takiego? A, podsekcja 7, dobra, źle zrozumiałem. Dla mnie ciekawego nie macie, nic nie leży. Warto sobie czasem tą grę zapisać jednakowoż.
I've lived in New Atlantis almost my entire life, and I had no idea this place even existed. The UC certainly excels at keeping secrets. I'll be fine. You go on ahead. I'm here for you, my love. Excellent.
Chodź, przecież czemu... Nie wiem, czemu ona chciała zostać.
Welcome, Captain. Please, come down and approach the intercom. You and I should chat.
Aż se siądę. A co?
President Abeyo was kind enough to give me a few files to peruse. Quite the series of accomplishments you've managed. But now you face a foe unlike any other. An invisible enemy, lurking in the shadows. You're going to need all the help you can get, which is why I hoped we could speak. Do you know who I am? Not quite. I'm Francois Sanon, but most know me as Victus. I was an admiral during the Colony War. One of its great villains, if you believe the slates. I was to be executed for my crimes, but the previous regime deemed me too valuable to simply discard. So they put me here, a sacrifice on the altar of peace. Even my death served the colonies. One final act of rebellion by the leadership that lost the colony war. The trial was authentic. I faced tribunal with dignity, but my execution, staged. A lethal injection that was anything but. The cabinet at the time, long gone now, wished to keep me on as an advisor, and considering the other option, I was in no place to refuse. So I elected to trade my freedom for my continued existence. But such is the life of a soldier. to warrant my execution. The official charges I faced after the war were twofold. The first was the destruction of civilian ships during the Battle of Cheyenne, a battle during which those civilian ships were actively attacking my fleet. The other was ordering the bombing of the Londinian spaceport to halt the spread of the Terramorph outbreak there. The city and its citizens were lost, but countless others likely saved. And for doing what was right, I was put on trial, and my life irrevocably changed. Very astute. That's my daughter, my progeny. You've been working alongside. Has she shared with you the nature of our little family? Did she? So willing to trust Hadrian. I never did succeed in driving that out of her. Our relationship has always been a challenging one. The Major was born to become a great leader, carry on the legacy I established, and was given all the finest training to support it. And she excelled. But the universe cut all that short. Now, though, it's placed even more crucial work in front of the two of you. And I think I have a part to play in helping you accomplish what you've set out to do. It was an attempt by the United Colonies to solidify its own legacy, forging a new generation of great leaders. They were raised by adoptive families made up of scholars and tacticians, trained at the United Colonies' greatest scientific and military academies, displayed incredible promise. But by the time the Colony War came to a close, there was only Hadrian. But that's ancient history now. You have much more pressing matters at hand, with which I can help. After some long years earning the trust of this current regime, the UC has been permitting me to work alongside one of their recovery teams, helping them gather intelligence on, locate, and organize scenarios to lure in some of the criminals that evaded justice after the Colony War. With quite a few successes, I might add. But in the process, I managed to find something else. The names and locations of Hadrian and Percival's old research team. Valuable manpower for the effort you're about to embark on. I'll tell you where they are, but in exchange, I need something dealt with. Well, who better to find them? But many of them I knew personally, and I've always had a mind for details. Where someone was born, next of kin. You'd be shocked how often an otherwise brilliant criminal flees to the planet just next to the one where they were born, or where a family member resides. I simply use my own personal knowledge and the information our group collects for me to track them down and set things right. There is a former colleague of mine, a man by the name of Dr. Reginald Orlaise. Like myself and Hadrian, he was involved in some of the United Colonies' more problematic lines of research. Mech weapons were his specialty. If it dealt death, he could make a deal more. When the Colony War ended, he fled, refusing to face tribunal, and has continued to peddle his skills to the highest bidder to this day. But I finally found him. I want you to track him down and deal with him, however you're able. I'm not expecting he'll come quietly. Bring me evidence that the job's done, and I'll tell you what I know. Speak to Deputy McIntyre. I'm sure she'd be happy to hear that someone might be tying up this loose end at long last. Though I would ask you, do not make the mistake of confusing me for a simple cutthroat. Captain, your files indicate a track record of unlikely successes. It is my genuine hope that, perhaps down the line, you might become a part of our team. And this might be something of a tryout. You can certainly try, but the man's been out there 20 years. He's likely gone feral by now. Easier for all if you simply blow up his ship and be done with it. If that's what you require to sleep at night, so be it. According to my information, he's been hiding around the world of Etheria, Wolf System. There's a star station in the vicinity, the Den. The head of the local vanguard, one Captain Marquez, should be able to help you find our man.
Okej. Mamy opcjonalne porozmawianie z zastępczynią, czyli z tą babką, co przed chwilą byliśmy chyba u niej, nie? Aha. A jak mam się stąd wydostać teraz? A, tu, dobra.
Identity verified. You may proceed to the exit.
Kurwa mać, no czemu ona tam została? O. W ten sposób, dobra. To najpierw tutaj, bo mamy opcjonalne pogadanie z tą typiarą. Z nią pogadajmy.
Captain, did your meeting go well? I hope it's clear now why we needed you to agree to all the secrecy. Exactly. Just another prisoner. Nothing you'd ever even think of bringing up in conversation. With anyone. Ever. We understand each other? The Major doesn't have clearance for this sort of information, and she certainly doesn't need a distraction from her current, very important work. Which is why I need you to keep this to yourself. No, they really shouldn't. And bringing up what you've learned outside this building will make you, Captain, look like a crazy person. I don't want that, and you certainly don't want that. So you need to keep this to yourself. Now, was there something in particular you wanted to discuss about your meeting? Dr. Reginald Orlaise? He's finally found him. Of course, killing Orlaise is completely out of the question, but bringing him to justice... He's been on the lam for years. That'd be a huge win for the UC. What's being offered in return? Really? He found the members of the research team. We'd already initiated a search for them, but it'd save a lot of time and manpower if he just gave us that information. Captain, if that's the deal, you have my endorsement. Just so long as you make every effort to bring the man in alive. Now, was there anything else you wanted to discuss regarding your meeting? Trusting the man downstairs would be a mistake. But I don't think you need to be too concerned. This is far from the first name he's handed over, and all previous missions went off largely without a hitch. So while I'd certainly warrant caution, I think you can proceed. Then I'll bid you good day, Captain, and remind you of the importance of discretion.
No dobra, to teraz jeśli dobrze rozumiem, to na statek mam się udać. Do Wolf, dobra.
All right.
Teleportujmy się.
are cleared to dock with the den.
Dobra, zdążyłem się zadokować, bo inaczej bym pieprznął w nich. Się zdenerwowali wtedy. Dobra. Zejdźmy na pokład. A, to jest to miejsce, dobra.
Well, this station's seen better days.
Looking to lodge a
I wonder
complaint?
if the
Then
UC
you want
will
UC
ever fully
security,
restore
not
it
the
to its
Vanguard.
former glory.
Oh, apologies, Captain. Didn't recognize you without the uniform. So, what can I do for you? Think you got some bad information. If there was a wanted man in our skies, he wouldn't still be out there. Unless... Are you talking about the Warlock? There's been rumor of a ship out there for years now. Doesn't respond to hails, never docks. More than a few amateur investigators have tried to find it, and at least 2 never came back. Aetheria's debris fields are plenty dangerous if you're not used to flying in them. But if you're suggesting it might not have been the fields that got them, well, I can give you the coordinates of the Warlock's last sighting. Things you should know? The den's not really that kind of place. This is a quiet assignment. Keep an eye out for pirates, make sure smuggling's kept to a minimum, occasional rescue job out in the debris fields. Otherwise, it's mostly long haulers and staying ready for the day the Collective wants another round, or House Varun comes back in force. I mean, I honestly thought it was just a story bored haulers told to amuse each other. But if the pilot of the Warlock really has been dusting our people, well, hopefully you're about to make our skies a whole lot safer. Well, the original Den Star Station was destroyed decades ago during the Serpent's Crusade by marauding House Varun zealots. Big part of the remains from those battles ended up gathering around Aetheria, forming a nasty debris field. Every now and then, some headstrong scrapper comes limping back because they hit an 80-year-old mine. Or sometimes they don't come back at all. Though, maybe it's not just the field that's been picking them off. Sure thing. Here, this should get you pointed in the right direction. Good hunting, and stay safe.
Dzięki. Dobra, wracamy sobie na statek. Ale mogłem do kokpitu od razu. Cały czas zapominam o tym, że jest taka opcja. Jak to muszę chodzić przez cały statek. Dobra. I sprawdźmy sobie jeszcze w sumie jedną rzecz. To statek, załoga i placówki. Okej. Okej, nie mogę tu nic więcej zrobić na razie. Tam do tej placówki skoczyć, możliwe, że tam coś jeszcze się uda zrobić. Oddokuj. Ale to przy okazji, jak będziemy na Marsie, albo jak już skończymy tych questów tyle, że stwierdzę, a dobra, mogę tam sobie latać i zwiedzać na spokojnie rzeczy. Daleko? Wow, 23,4 lata, świetne. Dobrze rozumiem ten zapis. No dobra. 6000 metrów, tak.
Endless boy. Who is this you've brought me? More scrap for the field. Savor your last moments, Moat. All systems
Dobra, no chcecie w ten sposób się bawić, to się bawi w ten sposób.
One of our weapons took a hit.
What are you? No, no, I will not die in a cage.
A może jednak właśnie to zrobisz? Ale dobra, na statek to zejdziemy już sobie w kolejnym odcinku. No teraz to tyle. Dzięki serdeczne za oglądanie. Zostaw kciuka, subskrypcję, dzwoneczek, wbijaj do linku w opisie i miłego popołudnia. Cześć.